Well, let's get to the odds. It's an in-depth look at the booming growth of prediction markets. Last week, we spoke with Jason Tross, CEO of Smarkets. He founded the prediction market platform back in 2008. Here's what he had to say about the industry now.
What's new is the amount of money that's coming into this industry especially from the sports side of things, but also this financialization of everything is adding to the froth of the industry. And what we're really excited about is bringing a regulated approach to this industry. We think some of the competitors in the space are getting a little bit over their skis and offering some markets that they shouldn't be offering.
Another example of that just happened over the weekend. Polymarket has issued an apology after users posted a market over whether an American pilot shot down over Iran would be rescued or not. Catherine Doherty covers prediction markets for Bloomberg. She joins us now. Kat, what goes into whether or not a contract is posted and, who decides on the language around a contract on these platforms?
So it first starts with the companies themselves. They have teams that are going through all the different iterations of, even with political contracts, if you think about a yes or no, will a candidate win, let's say, the presidency, you have to go even 4 layers deeper of things like, will they change their name during the election process? Will they die? They have to explicitly write rules behind every single contract to think about how various outcomes can impact the contracts that they're listed. So that's starting with the base level at the company. And then for the companies like a Kalshi and others that are CFTC regulated, they have to submit the contracts to their regulators asking permission, and the regulators at the CFTC, they're able to shoot down the contracts that they don't agree with. And already it's explicitly prohibited to list contracts that are tied to terrorism and war. And so that's what we've seen a lot of controversy around some of these contracts for platforms that are not regulated in the US by the CFTC. That has been where a lot of the political discord has centered on. This Polymarket apology, they did remove and say that this market should not have been posted, and they're investigating, they say, into how it might have slipped in their internal safeguards. So that's going back to the company level of making the decision on a case-by-case basis.
So we have about a minute left, but you touched on where I wanted to go, and that is, how is Kalshi handling this versus a Polymarket, depending on where they're actually regulated?
So you've seen perhaps a lot of bus signs that Kalshi has put forward saying, we do not list contracts tied to terrorism, for example. They're being very explicit about the line that they're drawing because they are, in fact, their exchange is regulated by the CFTC in the same way that the CME and CBOE are listing derivatives contracts that are also under the same legal and regulatory jurisdiction. Polymarket has their offshore offering, and they are building the U.S. version of their platform that is also regulated under the CFTC, and those are the lines that have been drawn. So you think about those platforms that are, again, offshore, anything outside the U.S. versus if you are offering to U.S. customers, you are with a license regulated by the CFTC.
A big thank you to Bloomberg's Catherine Doherty. Check out all of her coverage and the entire team's coverage at Bloomberg.com. And also a big thank you to Katie Greifeld for stepping in for Charlotte Fu here on Bloomberg.
It was a delight, and I'm pleased to say that Bloomberg Crypto will be back next week, hopefully with Scarlett Fu and Tim Stanovic. This is Bloomberg.
Behind this advisor is the power of Vanguard's institutional quality bond funds, 90% of which have outperformed